Hello, fire signs. Welcome back to Meaningful Motivations with Tracy Erickson. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy Erickson, and this is the General Tarot reading for fire signs for October 2024. So that just means if you are Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, then this is your tarot reading for October 2024. And of course, just take whatever parts of this reading that resonate with you. And the central card in today's reading for you fire signs is victory and success. All right, let's go ahead and get all the rest of the cards flipped over here. So what do we have? We have the stand your ground, and that card is next to emotional loss. And on the other side here, we have fulfillment of wishes, and that is next to love begins. All right. Okay, fire signs. So I feel as though there is something that has taken place already that was emotional for you. And it included some type of loss from the heart. And this has been an obstacle that you knew you had to, stand firm in, being strong. And that is followed by the victory and success. So I feel like you have held strong. You've been going through this particular loss, whatever this represents for you, with a strong face. Okay, but then over here we have fulfillment of wishes next to love begins. So I do feel like in some way, after this emotional loss that has taken place for you, whatever it is, it may or may not be about a relationship for you, fire signs. But as you've made your way through this feeling of sadness, grief, loss, you have now kind of found your way through to the light, okay? Now, as this takes place, making your way through this situation, I feel eventually in the end it's going to lead to a certain type of fulfillment of wishes. It's going to be a completion of a cycle in some way. All right. And then you have love begins. So that card at the end being a number 1 right after the number 9. So I do feel like making it through this emotional loss that's taking place in October is going to eventually lead to the ending of a cycle that can then create a beautiful new beginning. And so much more harmony and flow will take place as this cycle comes to a close. And you begin to feel like in the end, all of this that you've gone through was actually worth it because it led to this new beginning and where you're going to go. All right, fire signs. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the Rider-Waite deck now, and we'll get a little clarity on this reading for you, fire signs. All right, let's see what we have here. The first card is the Two of Pentacles reversed. So I do feel like things have been a little out of balance in your life recently, fire signs. So I do feel like that has been throwing you a little off kilter. But I feel like whatever this emotional loss is that you're going through and that will eventually come out stronger from is going to lead you to more balance and harmony in your life, even if you don't see it taking place yet. And we have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, this card is all about intuition and emotion and creativity. So I do feel like as you move through this time, you're kind of going to unlock some of your own creativity, some of your own emotions regarding the situation. But as you can see, the Queen is just gazing at this cup right now with a lid on it. So I do also feel like there's a little bit of a need or desire to have more truth, to offer yourself more truth in how you're truly feeling around this situation as well. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. This card is reversed. I do feel like part of this emotional loss is about basically what you expected from a particular person or situation, whatever this loss is about for you. I feel like it's just like the expectation of it isn't really meeting the reality of it. So I do also feel like part of this emotional thing that you're going through, but yet still standing your ground within, or have up to this point, is that I feel like there's just something that you feel needs to materialize, but it hasn't really happened yet. And we have the Six of Swords reversed. And the reason is because of this refusal to move forward in your thinking regarding a particular situation, whatever this is, right? So I do feel like there is a need to have a change in your thinking. And then it's kind of going to lead you further towards the victory and then the completion and new beginning. And I feel like it's really going to help you to see things more clearly from your, once you tap in more deeply to how you truly feel and your gut instincts and your intuition, that is going to change the whole situation. And I feel like it's going to make everything make more sense as well in the month of October. All right, fire signs, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the Queen of the Moon Oracle and see what advice comes out for you, fire signs, for October 2024 regarding this situation. Okay, so the month of October should be used for peace and assessing. So you need to find this inner stillness, this inner peace in your thinking and in your emotions. I feel like October, whatever the situation is that was, a grief for you or an obstacle, challenge, something you had to get past. Now that you're kind of through this and you realized it wasn't as bad as you thought maybe, or you're just feeling better about it because you're further along. But I feel like now you're at that point of victory and success, it's time to find inner peace in your thinking and emotions so that you can then assess the situation from a higher perspective. All right. And this is also a number 9. So as you assess this particular situation from a higher perspective, it's going to lead to this completion that is the fulfillment of your true wishes, which can lead to something so beautiful and that flows with so much harmony. But first, this change in your thinking has to take place through seeing the situation from a higher perspective. All right, fire signs. So by seeing that situation from a higher perspective, it's because sometimes when we're in the middle of it, sometimes when we're actually experiencing it before the loss, we don't see it for what it really is. All right. But then once we're able to find that inner peace and to get out of the actual situation, we're able to see things more clearly and from a higher perspective because we're not sitting in the middle of it, right? I feel like that's your advice right now, is to find that place where you can perceive this from a higher perspective so that you can then know what is best for you. All right? All right, fire signs. Now I'm going to shuffle the Halloween Oracle because it is October after all. So I'm just going to give this deck a few shuffles and then I'm going to pull 3 final cards as a final message for you, fire signs, for October 2024. All right, fire signs. First, we have winter, the sacredness of pausing. This is kind of what I was talking about with that peace card, you guys. So this is confirming what we were already, discussing about finding that inner peace. There's a place and a time for everything. So this is your time to really pause in your particular lifestyle, to take a moment to pause, because that will help you to find the peace that will give you this new sense of perception around the situation, okay? And that's literally going to help you. Next, we have spider, and it says community and web weaving. I actually made a video about the spiritual meaning of spider as well, you guys. If you want to check that out, I'll be sure to put a card at the top of the screen here. But the spider, and with it saying community and web weaving, I do feel like a lot of what you are going to find is how the community around you sees what it sees based on what has been given to them, what has been told to them, what web have you been weaving for them. Okay, so as you pause, you're going to see that, I almost feel like this assessment is also going to be shown or show you how your previous actions have led to the point where it is right now in these other relationships in your life or within your community. All right, so I feel like you're going to realize that you can begin to weave a whole different web at any time. So I feel like with the spider, it's going to be important for you to put yourself out there to people in a very, so I feel like, sorry, I was interrupted here, so I had to pause it real quick, but we're back. So the spider card with community and web weaving, it's all about telling your story, putting yourself out there. It's about understanding your connection to all things. All right, and finally, the last one is Skull of Darkness, and this one says blind spots. So you're definitely going to see where there have been some blind spots in your thinking, meaning just like I was saying about, seeing things from a higher perspective, because when you're actually in the situations of your life, you don't see these blind spots, these things that other people might be able to see. It's almost like, you're focused on a particular perception of the situation, and that is what is causing these blind spots, right? But I feel like as you begin to tell your story in the way that you want, after this pause and finding peace, you're going to begin to illuminate those dark places, right? And that's going to really help you to assess this situation so that you can come to this completion and new beginning in your life that I feel that your spirit has been calling you towards, but you've been ignoring your own spirit in some ways when it comes to moving forward and shining light in those dark places. I know it's hard, but fire signs, this is the month to do it while you're finding this inner peace. Just start to do the shadow work that's necessary to help propel you forward past this, this grief or emotional loss, or basically just this challenge that you have stood in, regardless of how much emotional loss it offered you. But over here on the other end, we have a very new beginning with a lot of flow and harmony. So it's all about just getting through this month with a sense of inner peace, with a sense of assessing the situation from a different perspective, shining light in those dark places, and putting yourself out there in new ways, and maybe even building a whole new community who will support you in this new beginning and this new way of life that you want to create for yourself. All right, fire signs. That is your reading for October. If you're still here, don't forget to click that like button for me. And I have a quick announcement. If you would like a personal reading with me, you can contact me through my website, which is meaningfulmotivations.com. Thank you guys so much for being here and spending your time with me. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.